"I have seen the future of education," a visiting European dean once remarked, his voice filled with wonder. "And it's not in advanced technologies or modern facilities, it's in the heart of a Philippine classroom." This insight came after weeks of observation, not as a casual comment. For many Western educators, the Philippines was a place of beauty and hospitality, not a place to find a revolutionary educational model. Yet, the most powerful ideas are often discovered, not invented. The discovery began with a simple academic exchange. European deans arrived expecting to offer expertise but found their expectations upended. The journey shifted from pedagogy to the soul of a culture. Initial meetings were formal, but the real story began in the classrooms. Here, subtle but powerful differences emerged, not in lesson plans but in atmosphere. There was a sense of order and mutual respect, a quiet energy that set the classroom apart. Students stood when a teacher entered, listening attentively out of genuine deference. This was a social contract, unwritten but deeply understood. It wasn't policy, it was cultural. The visitors had come looking for innovation in technology or teaching methods. Instead, they found it in human connection. Everyday gestures of respect were woven into the school day. This was the first glimpse of what one dean would later call Philippine Gold. The paradigm shift had begun. Sometimes the most profound lessons are found in the simplest acts. Among the visitors was Dr. Klaus Richter, a German dean known for his logical, debate-driven classrooms. He expected to see a system lagging behind his progressive ideals. Instead, his first classroom visit in Quezon City challenged everything he knew. The professor entered, and every student rose in unison, a sign of respect he'd never seen in Germany. At first, Dr. Richter wondered if this was a sign of rigid authority or fear. But when the professor invited questions, students responded with confidence and courtesy, always addressing the teacher as sir or ma'am. Over the week, Dr. Richter visited more schools and saw the same pattern. Respect was everywhere. Students helped teachers, used PO and OPO, and maintained discipline not through rules but through shared values. This wasn't about fear, it was about deep-seated respect for authority and learning. Dr. Richter realized this was a self-regulating system, built on cultural values. The respect he witnessed was not stifling, but empowering. Students were engaged, thoughtful, and unafraid to participate. The classroom dynamic was different, orderly yet alive. The gestures of respect were not just tradition, they were the foundation of learning. Dr. Richter's investigation turned into admiration. He saw that respect could coexist with critical thinking. The Filipino classroom was not passive, it was purposeful. The experience began to reshape his understanding of what education could be. He started to question his own assumptions. Sometimes the most important lessons come from unexpected places. The journey was no longer about what he could teach, but what he could learn. Respect, he realized, was the true innovation. For Dr. Richter and his colleagues, the classroom was a culture shock, not of chaos, but of order. In the West, informality blurs the line between teacher and student. The Filipino model was different. Teachers were respected elders, not dictators. This hierarchy created a framework for learning, not oppression. Students listened, absorbed, and showed gratitude. Teachers nurtured and guided. The result was a positive, efficient environment with less time spent on discipline. Dr. Richter observed a student stumble while reading aloud. No ridicule, only patient silence and gentle correction. Respect extended laterally, from student to student, creating a communal support system. The classroom was a safe space for mistakes and growth. The focus was on collective progress, not individual competition. Courtesy was not just a cultural quirk, it was a pedagogical tool. The European dean saw that respect was functional, not just polite. It fostered psychological safety and shared responsibility. The Filipino classroom prioritized harmony and support. This was a stark contrast to the competitive, individualistic West. The lesson was clear. Respect transforms the learning environment. It was a revelation for the visitors. Sometimes the greatest strengths are hidden in plain sight. To understand Filipino respect, you must know po and opo, small words with immense meaning. At first, the dean saw them as linguistic curiosities, but these honorifics are woven into every interaction, making respect audible and constant. In classrooms, po and opo softened commands and elevated exchanges. The language itself built and reinforced the social fabric. Nonverbal cues like the mano po gesture and deferential eye contact deepened this culture of respect. These daily acts became second nature, creating a feedback loop of internalized values. Respect wasn't just taught, it was lived. The Filipino system educated both mind and character. Dr. Richter saw the contrast. Western education teaches what to think. The Filipino system teaches how to be. The lesson was profound. Po and Opo were at the heart of this transformation. Respect was not an abstract value, it was a lived reality. This was the invisible curriculum shaping every student. The respect in Filipino classrooms was reciprocal, creating a strong sense of community. Teachers cared for students like family, knowing their backgrounds and dreams. Students shared snacks, tutored peers, and practiced bayanihan, communal cooperation. Success was collective, not individual. Teachers fostered teamwork through group projects and celebrated class achievements. Social capital, trust and mutual obligation, was built daily. The classroom mirrored the ideal Filipino community, supportive and harmonious. For the deans, this was a revelation. In the West, collaboration was taught through programs. Here, it was lived. Community wasn't an add-on, it was the foundation of learning. The Filipino classroom was a model of interdependence. Dr. Richter realized classroom respect began at home, forged in the Filipino family. Family is central, and values like utang na loob, a debt of gratitude, shape character. Education is seen as a way to honor parents' sacrifices. The family's hierarchical structure teaches children to revere elders and use po and opo. When children enter school, they extend this respect to teachers, who become surrogate elders. School is an extension of home. Success is a family project, not just a personal goal. This creates powerful motivation and responsibility. The emotional investment in education is unique and profound. In the West, education is often an individual journey. In the Philippines, it's a collective mission. The invisible curriculum is written at home, the classroom is the stage, the family writes the script. The Philippine experience forced the deans to reflect on their own systems. Western education values individualism and debate, producing innovation but sometimes eroding community. In Germany, classrooms are arenas for intellectual combat. In the Philippines, they're spaces for collective uplift. The Filipino instinct is harmony. The Western instinct is contention. Rising student anxiety in Europe made the deans wonder if something was missing. The Filipino classroom offered a psychological safety net. Both systems have strengths and weaknesses. The West excels at innovation, the Philippines at community and character. The real question, can we combine the best of both? Dr. Richter saw the potential for a new balance. The journey was about learning, not superiority. On his final day, Dr. Richter addressed Filipino educators transformed by his experience. He spoke not of technology, but of the human element, respect. He recounted the supportive classroom, the power of po and opo, and the beauty of mano po. His epiphany, the most powerful educational tool is respect. It's the invisible software that makes the system work. Respect improves focus, reduces problems, and fosters collaboration. In the Filipino context, respect is not blind obedience, it's a sophisticated social technology. It organizes interaction for harmony and well-being. Learning is social and emotional, not just intellectual. Respect allows vulnerability, openness, and mutual help. This is emotional intelligence at a societal level. Dr. Richter called it Philippine Gold. He urged, don't trade this for modernity. This is your gift to the world. The true innovation was cultural, not technological. Philippine Gold was a lesson for all. Philippine Gold captured the value of what the deans discovered, an intangible cultural treasure. They returned home, not to copy, but to ask new questions. The lesson mutual respect is essential for effective education. It's not about rituals, but the principle behind them. Respect is the foundation of learning, not just a nicety. The Filipino classroom offers a counter-narrative to global polarization and distrust. We must teach character, not just academics. The journey ended with a universal truth. Relationships are the heart of education. Philippine Gold is a quiet lesson from the East, offering hope to a world in need. Sometimes the greatest riches are found in the simplest acts of respect.